Hey everyone, I just wanted to go over a lesson today on rhythm with your right hand. This is for a lot of beginners who struggle sometimes with uh, kind of being rigid and a little bit too stiff with your right hand. And it happens because if you try to do like something like it happens like that, I'm trying to get to the chord and then also this isn't sure what to do. You usually want to separate it. So if you're not good with your chords, if it's even something, right, like even something simple like that, doesn't matter what chords you're doing. If this is going to mess up your right hand, try to work on one thing at a time. And this is an exercise today on just working with your right hand so that you can get a little bit more comfortable with rhythm flows. Because it happens when we're all learning, we get sometimes stiff and we're not fluid with kind of our strums. So one way to do this is just start counting quarter notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and add some down strokes to those. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice my right hand, it's going consistently up the same way it's going down. I'm not trying to go. It seems so unnatural to do that, and you probably even notice if you've done that before. You want to keep it more consistent. Doesn't matter if I'm going fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, slow, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got the same motion like a pendulum does. You don't want to sway it too hard one way or the other. You want to keep it all even. And another way to think about that is if you're not sure if your arm is stiff at all, is if you've ever had water on your hands and you just try to whip it off, you can't have a really tight arm when you're doing that. So if you try to do that, that's more of the natural motion you want with your right hand. So if we do those quarter notes still, 1, 2, 3, 4. You get good at those, do eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it's just down and up. So down and then up on the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you're not good with that speed, just do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and but slow might be hard because you have to keep being even. 3 and 4 and when you get good with that, start speeding it up a little bit, but gradually, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if we started slow, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Start emphasizing different, like the downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then maybe that 1 and 2 and 3, maybe 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 4, 2 and 3 and 4 and a 4, 2 and 3 and 4 and then start doing groupings of hitting like maybe and of 2, 4. It just doesn't matter. Remember, you're not trying to be artistic right now. You're trying to be exercising certain things. And that's a good thing to remind yourself is when you're practicing something, there's one thing to be artistic and one thing to practice technique. And in this case, it's purely technique. I'm not trying to write something out of a rhythm. If you do, cool. If not, whatever. It's about trying to make sure that I can be consistent with my right hand and the fluidity with the feel behind it. That's what we're kind of learning. It's good to compartmentalize when you're working on things like this so that you don't get too spread out and discouraged because you're working on too many things at once. We all have issues with that sometimes. So the idea that we're trying to get at is that fluidity. So we're doing eighth notes and hitting random beats like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But notice even when I hit it, I don't try to go. Ugh. You want to keep this. But if you're not good at it yet, still try to just hit it random. And then so if you get that and you start getting good at that, just start maybe missing it now. And then at random, but you don't hear that I'm counting 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you're strumming random strings and missing the strings at the same time, but trying to keep this without stopping, but knowing where you're at by still counting. So it keeps you more in control up here instead of your arms. Because that's what happens sometimes is we start relying on our technique and we're not thinking about what it sounds like anymore. We just start reacting to what we've practiced. And our hands really don't know what they're doing. They're just doing what they're programmed to do, but they don't know where they're going and how anything fits. This does. So that's why you want to still count with some things when you're learning as you go. So then you keep your mind more focused on it, especially counting out loud and humming kind of what you're doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like that. Now I'm going to try to play mimicking what I'm kind of counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and miss and 1 and 2 and 3 and, but I'm keeping this going the whole time. So once you get good with this and you feel like I can just kind of miss or hit, but I keep counting, get your bar chord back. So now we're going to kind of wrap all this up. So we've done some exercises on just keeping our right hand steady and with the quarter notes, eighth notes, and then missing strings and then hitting random, emphasizing the ands or whatever beats during the measure. Twos, ands of twos, just like 1 and 2. We've done a lot of that. So now what we're going to do is add our left hand, if like we had a bar chord, A, let's for example, if we're going to push down, you get the chord. If you lift it up, it's muted. We can add that rhythmically to the music too. So if I keep like that funk thing, that's more like Orleans. But notice how I'm lifting up and down. So if I slow that down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and, so some of it is pushed down, some of it's lifted, so you get percussion. But this, notice, is doing this the whole time. And you're thinking, well, what rhythms are doing? Well, this is for a specific type of style. We don't need to get into exactly what I'm doing with that. If you even just hit it at random, you're getting used to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just maybe start missing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and then hit 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just the same way you're going to build back up to kind of be able to do anything at random. But if you like a pattern, if you're counting, which you should be doing, you're going to be able to figure out how to hit different rhythms. And if it sounds cool, keep it. If it doesn't, change it. That's if you want to get artistic. But just getting this stuff down at random. If you're trying now to do a certain style and you feel comfortable about doing this, yeah, by all means, learn exactly what it's supposed to do. But if you're not if you don't feel comfortable at that level to start getting there, do all these exercises. Make sure that you can start getting your right hand a little bit more loose and flowing with the music instead of just trying to hit it and everything feels stiff, like if you're trying to pronounce a word that you're not sure of. Remember, you don't want to rush yourself with any of this stuff. Take it slow, take it steady. On another note, if you're interested in lessons, I've been doing a little bit more online lately and teaching through Zoom and Skype. And I'm teach in person if you're in the neighborhood and want to connect. Put a private message out there, email, find me on any of the social media, and yeah, let me know. Hope you all have a great day. Hope this all helps too.